Welcome to Module 8. In this module, we'll go over how drivers complete deliveries and access routes in the RxMount mobile interface. Once the driver logs in, they can access their routes by clicking on the Routes button. To access the Routes button, click on the Settings button at the top, then click on Routes. The most recently created route will appear at the top. Each route is numbered, and for jobs with the same address, the driver will see a bulk complete option, which allows them to complete multiple jobs with a single signature. To start, the driver clicks on the first stop. The delivery information will be on the left. This includes the patient's name, address, and phone number. On the right is the driver's navigation options. They can choose from either Waze or Google Maps. Once the driver arrives at the patient's house, they will introduce themselves and confirm the patient's identity. Then they will get the signature from the patient. If consent for future refills has been granted, the mobile app will display a checkbox for future refills. However, for this particular job, there is no consent for future refills. Let me provide an example of what the checkbox for future refills will look like. This checkbox will allow drivers to ask the patient if they would like to sign off for future refills. If the patient agrees, the driver can collect a single signature at the current stop that will apply to both the current prescription and any future refills. Now let's return back to the first order. If the patient is not home, the driver will call the patient. If there is no answer, the driver will click on the black phone icon and use the spoofing feature to call through the pharmacy's number, increasing the chance of the call being picked up. If the patient agrees to receive the package, the driver will tell the patient that he's going to send them a link to sign. Once the patient signs via the link, the driver can retrieve the signature in the app and leave the package at the designated location. After getting the signature, the driver will write down the name of who they spoke to. Then they'll upload a photo of where the package was left. If there is any copay to collect, they would click yes or no if they collected it. If a patient hands a script to the driver will check yes and give it to the pharmacy. If the driver wants to leave any additional comments, he can write it in the comment section. Finally, they will choose what status to put the job in. Since the patient signed off on the package, I will put it as finished. If the delivery was unsuccessful, the driver can choose to reschedule or return the job. When rescheduling or return, a second dropdown will appear to select the reason. Now I will click complete. If the driver is more than 75 meters away from the delivery address, they will receive a prompt to double-check their location. The driver can override this if necessary. Since I'm in Orlando, and this delivery is taking place in Miami, I'll click OK. Now the job will have been saved. Once the driver completes the job, he will automatically move from the remaining section to the completed section. If, for any reason, you need to make any changes to a completed job, simply go to the completed job section, click on the job, and make the necessary edits. For multiple deliveries going to the same address, the driver can use the bulk closeout feature. This allows them to collect just one signature for all deliveries. Note that for bulk closeouts, contactless options are not available, so someone must physically sign. That concludes Module 8. In this module, we learned how drivers access their assigned routes, how drivers complete a job and handle contactless signatures, and we also learned how to close out bulk orders.